Kane Vision welcomes in Ryan Willis, the head volleyball coach at the University of Tulsa. Good start for your team, 5-1 so far. Nice performance at home, but I'm sure you were very gratified with the way your team played on the road in the recent sweep, right?
Yeah, it was one of those weekends where every team is in a position to win their conference tournament or their conference title, and so between the four teams, there might be 80 to 100 plus wins over the course of the season. So it was a good tournament, and there's a lot of people that expect to win, and so for us to go in there and compete like we did, it was a little up and down at times, but I thought we had a level of grit, a level of resiliency, and found a way to be successful. And to go into the last match against Texas State on their home floor, we were both 2-0 to win the tournament title, and we really did not play very well in the first set, and Texas State played extremely well in the first set. And for us to bounce back, and in the second set, we found a way to win, I think 25-23. And then in the third and fourth set, we really put it on them. And so that was pretty gratifying to see that and see some of the hard work pay off.
Yeah, 3-1 in all three of those matches in the tournament at Texas State. So that really gets you going. I know tournaments are a little different than when you get into the regular season. What are you trying to accomplish during tournament play where you get a lot of matches in?
Yeah, it's you learn a lot really quick. And it's something we talked about going into the weekend. That I think every team has an identity, and we're trying to figure out what's our identity. Every program has a culture that's kind of a little bit more of a macro level. It's a big level thing, but every individual team has its own identity. And so I think you're just trying to figure that out. You're trying to figure out at what intensity level is best for us to play at what skills are going to allow us to win, where do we focus our attention, what players are going to come through in certain moments. So it's just all about figuring out who you are, and the ability to put in some adjustments based on what the other team's doing, because you don't have as much video and that sort of stuff. You don't have as much history. So it's the ability to, within the match, make some small adjustments, see who handles it well, see who doesn't, kind of learn in those situations. And that's what it's about.
In asking you who's playing well, obviously, I think Brooke Berryhill comes to the fore.
Yeah.
Your senior libero, the American Athletic Conference Player of the Week or Defensive Player of the Week. So she's obviously doing a great job for you.
She has, and she's worked really hard over the off season. Speaking of adjustments, we made some adjustments in the middle of the weekend, and she picked them up like that. And then all of a sudden, she just made it look easy. And she's worked really hard. I think she's playing with a level of confidence that's really good for our team to see. I think other people feed off that, and she's always been a great player, but she's taken it up to another level just from a competitive perspective, and she was huge for us this weekend.
Who else is playing well for you?
We're a little bit more of a balanced team this year. I think because of that, that's part of the reason we're having some success. I think really proud of how our setters have stepped up and found a way to compete. We got to refine some things, but we're in a 6-2 system. We got 2 new setters on the floor, and they're competing, and they're making plays when we need them to. And statistically, they're never going to get much recognition and that sort of stuff. But everything they're the quarterback of a team, and we got 2 of them, and so we feed off a lot of that energy. And then I think overall as a whole. I think Erica, one of our seniors, she's always kind of led us in kills. I think part of our balance is going to allow her to step up in certain situations, and she did that this weekend. Her first 2 matches probably weren't ideal for her, but then when we had a championship match, she came through in a huge way. And so, but it is definitely much more of a balanced team and much more of a team effort this year. And I think defensively as a whole, we just have the ability sometimes to really frustrate people. And then that's why we're having some success. Yeah,
and the tournament play continues. Jonesboro, Arkansas this coming weekend. Arkansas State the host, so what are your expectations there?
It's another good tournament. It's Arkansas State. They came in here last year, and they put a pretty good beat down on us. And so we get a chance to go back and try to redeem ourselves a little bit. They had an unbelievable season last year. I think they finished 18 in the country and won almost 30 matches, and they only lost really 1 player off their roster. And so it's a very good team. And so that's not till the end of it, but there's other. Central Arkansas, we played the first day. We played them 2 years ago and squeaked one out on their home floor, so I'm sure they're looking for some redemption as well. And so we got to show up ready to play, and it's 3-4 good major programs that expect to win, and so I'm excited about it.
And that leads up to the final tournament at home before we get into conference play, and that's starting on September 16th here for another Hurricane Classic. So you look forward to get back home, and then you gear up for conference, don't you?
Yeah, and it comes around pretty quick. And we have that first conference match we have Cincinnati come to town on that Thursday. I'm not exactly sure the date, but it is. They were picked to win the league. They have one of the best players in the league. that's on the outside for them. And so that's going to be a big match, and that'll be a fun one to start off conference play.
Absolutely. That Cincinnati date, the 22nd of September. Coach, good luck in Jonesboro.
Thank you.
Ryan Wills, the head volleyball coach at the University of Tulsa.